All right, team. Good morning. It is a beautiful Wednesday, February 5th. Hope everyone had a good day yesterday and is back at another day in the market. So what we're getting right now, the coronavirus stocks are dropping. That's number one. Number two, we actually have a bunch of penny stocks popping off this morning. We had a lot of penny stock movement today. Let me throw some of these up so you can see what I'm talking about. And then the market itself, the overall SPY is breaking lifetime highs. So we got a lot of movement. Should be an interesting day in the market. We should have some opportunity here. We'll see though. All right, so I'm going to pull up a few stocks here. Number one is the SPY first. Let's take a look at that. That, again, I got to see what the lifetime high was, but I'm pretty sure this is breaking it. Yeah, so this is breaking lifetime highs in the overall market. And so we'll see what happens here. It should be an interesting day. But yeah, the overall highs in the market were 332.95. We might not have broken that, actually. Let me see. Okay, so we got pretty close, actually. We didn't actually break it. I retract my previous statement because the previous lifetime high was right up here at 332.95. So right under 333. If we get to 333, that'll be the lifetime high. But yeah, so we got as high as 332.60. So honestly, this might be even better because this means that it's plausible that we could test that lifetime high today. So it's plausible that we could start testing and potentially breaking the lifetime high in the overall SPY is specifically what I'm talking about. And so we'll see what happens, but that's definitely worth considering and watching today. We also have MYO here, which just made some ridiculously huge moves. Huge percentage moves yesterday. This one started off yesterday morning at $7.40, went to $35 during the day. So this is like close to 500%. It's a little bit less than 500%, but it's close. It's probably like 450, close to that. So this thing's up over 400%. Just a ridiculously crazy move here, and it's back up to 25. Just in pre-market, this thing's moved from $13 all the way up to, at one point, $27.50, and now it's at $25.37. So huge percentage moves. The float's got to be tiny. Yeah, according to this, the float is 523. You can see that right here. You can see the float, 523,000. That's tiny. That's tiny. You can see most of these stocks have like 30 million, 10 million, 1 million, 50 million, 800 million, 600 million. And so this one has 500,000 in the float, which, if you understand what the float means, the float is the total amount of shares available to the overall public. And so the smaller the float, the easier it is to make that stock move, right? Like a 10,000 share order and a billion float stock is not going to influence it at all, but a 10,000 share order in this stock will make this thing jump. And so it's more easily manipulated, it's more easily pumped up, and when squeezes happen, they're ultimately going to hold a little bit more sway over it. And so we'll see what happens with MYO. Really interesting stock. Very scared to trade this one because it also, since it can be easily manipulated, can get halted very easily as well. And so, I'd watch this one. Very interesting levels, crazy moves to a certain extent for this one, and we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, kind of a crazy move for MYO. Then we also have a few other ones like MBRX gapping up here from 88 cents to $1.20. We'll see what happens with that one as well. It's worth a watch. But again, we got a lot of penny stocks like VVUS gapping up from 230 to 296. We got CODA. We got COTY, which I think is tradable. If I remember correctly, I believe COTY is tradable. It's a larger float stock. It's got like 737 million in the float, so a little bit less than a billion float size. So a huge float. We also have AIMT, which I believe is tradable now. I believe it's tradable. We'll see. Not 100% sure, but we'll have to check it. But if this one is tradable, very interesting levels to watch at 32. We got this high up there at 33. We can look at the daily chart to find some levels here as well. But I think they're going to be a little bit less important. Let's see, we're at 32.40, so we are down here. So yeah, this 32.50 level, this 32.50, yeah, right around that is a big level, and I think that's an interesting level to watch as well. So yeah, these three levels are what I'd watch for AIMT, see if it breaks that. If it breaks below 32, it could start filling that gap, and if it breaks over 33 as well as the pre-market high at 33.30, that might get interesting too. We'll see what happens. TTM is another one gapping up, and it looks all right. We got ABB. I'm trying to catch some of these. A lot of these are low volume though. PBYI, I'm pretty sure that one is tradable for us. It's gapping up. PBYI. This one might be worth a watch as well. And we'll look up some of these news, some of the news for some of these. And coronavirus stocks are down. NVAX is down. NNVC is down, which is tradable. So this one is tradable as well. NNVC. But yeah, some of the coronavirus stocks are down today. And then specifically for gap downs, we got PLT, which is Plantronics. We got ZIOP. We've got Boot. We've got NNVC, like I said, which is a coronavirus stock. We got MTCH, which is Match.com. We've got Snapchat, which is down. So we do have some gap downs as well today, and it should be an interesting day. Let me catch back up on the chat. All right, what's up, Precise? What's up, V3? We're thinking another green day. Last live video I was on, they were saying it's a put kind of day. It's hard to tell. I don't like to necessarily try to predict what the market's going to do. I think that's very difficult to predict. And, you know, sometimes the people predicting it are going to be right, and sometimes they're going to be wrong. But I think that ultimately I like to just react to what the SPY does. I like to just, instead of predict, instead just react to what it actually does. Because I think predicting what the market's going to do is kind of a low percentage game, and I think that's also why trading at the open is a little bit tougher. But I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying it's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, so the SPY, the big thing to look at is just extension. It's also fundamental catalyst, which we'll go over a little bit later. We had the State of the Union yesterday, which is probably causing this one to go up. We'll see what happens, but we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, if the SPY starts to break lifetime highs, I can see a very bullish move here if it specifically gets over this pre-market high, and then 333 is the interesting level. If it doesn't break that, it could turn the other way, but again, I would look at fundamental reasons to analyze what the market's doing, as well as the stocks that are involved in the S&P. But yeah, so market's up though, regardless of any of that, market's up. We also got LK, which is gapping up again, 36.24 up to 38.46 in pre-market. AMD following the SPY, which is to be expected. Roku, same thing. SPCE, same thing. So those are some that I'm watching. Like I said, we'll start looking up news in just a minute. But what are you guys watching this morning? A bunch of penny stocks are moving today. If you like penny stocks. What's up, Levi? Good morning, brother. What's up, man? What's up, AZ? What's up, AY? What's up, brother? Haven't seen you in a few days, man. Hope you're doing well, dude. Lost on Monday and Tuesday, going to wait for setups today. Yeah, Levi, one thing I did that seriously helped my trading, the first thing you want to understand is that if you look at that first 30, 40 minutes of the market, look how sideways the market was, which kind of goes in line with how I did yesterday. But I mean, look at this, like the market was completely sideways that first hour. And if you try to day trade that first choppy, 30, 45 minutes, it's much tougher in my opinion. And so one thing that has drastically improved my trading is just waiting for that first 45 minutes, an hour to pass, and then start to trade. If I can have the patience to wait until like 10:30, market time, my trading percentage and accuracy has gone up ridiculously high. And so just a tip there, if you're trying to trade VWAP strategies like me, and you try to get in here, it's going to be super tough because the market's just chopping over and under the VWAP, and that's super difficult to try to predict the trend when that's happened. But when the market actually picks a trend like this, that's when I decide to attack, and that has worked out ridiculously well. Beautiful VWAP bounce once that did happen as well on the SPY. Patience is key. Try to make one good trade at a time. Yeah, 100%. Netflix ripping it. Be careful, Taylor. We can't say ripping it here. They get mad at us. I'm just joking, but yeah, Netflix is up, gapping up, probably following the market. A lot of stuff like AMD, Roku, Tesla though, big drop is Tesla the dragon, getting hammered in pre-market and dropped huge yesterday. I wonder what happened here. I'm gonna have to look that up because look at that drop right there on Tesla, just huge drop, man, huge drop. What's up, Leo? What's up, Jay? What's up, brother? Yeah, solid day it seems. What's up, John? I chose your team. I chose you as the team leader on the email I got from the World Series of Day Trading. Still no phone call though. What should I expect one? you should definitely expect one before the competition. The competition still doesn't start for a few weeks, though. It doesn't start for like 2 to 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, really, roughly. And so I wouldn't be worried. I'm sure they're going to call you, and you know, they're probably going to send you an email as well. You know, last time they gave people their login like a week or so before the competition. So if you haven't gotten any of it yet, I wouldn't be concerned. I'm sure you'll get it. And if you don't get it within like a week before the competition, just reach out to me and I'll expedite that process for you, brother. I got you. So yeah, just let me know. What's up, Douglas? Do you use any moving averages? If not, why not? Okay, so I use the VWAP, which is kind of like it is a moving average. The VWAP is a moving average with volume taken into consideration, which makes it ultimately a trend indicator. That's what I use, and I just think it's a little bit more valid and worthy than other moving averages, because I think in trading, your goal is to try to predict what everybody else is doing. You know, trading's one of those things where you go with the pack, because the whole point, like, if somebody's buying at the same time you're buying, that's going to give your trade more momentum. The stock's going to push up easier. And so the whole thing with trading is trying to predict what everybody else is doing, right? And I think with moving averages, you got the 10, you got the 50, you got the 12, you got the 13, you got the 100, you got the 200. And I think there's so many different moving averages that I would prefer to use the VWAP, because instead of having to see if one trader's using the 50 and one trader's using the 100 and one trader's using the 12, there's only one VWAP, you know? And so I just think the VWAP has more momentum because of that. And just with my patterns and strategies specifically, I would prefer to just use one indicator, because it makes less noise on my chart. You know, I've seen some other people trading, and they've just got every single indicator you could ever put on your chart, and a lot of the times they're just trying to look like they know what they're doing, and so they throw all these indicators on their chart. I am the complete opposite. I don't care if I look like I know what I'm doing. I know my accounts and the profits, you know, and I know my accounts growing, and my strategies work over 50% almost constantly. And so I prefer to just keep it simple and stick with what works, and the VWAP's what works, and so I just stick with that. I try not to crowd my charts up with anything else, really. But again, I'm not saying you can't make money with the moving averages. I'm not saying that at all. There's definitely profitable moving average strategies, and Mitch in fact trades some moving averages and some moving average strategies. Just with me specifically in my style, it's more so just suited towards just the VWAP and using that with less noise on my chart is what I kind of prefer. But again, everybody's different. It's just my preference. All right, guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with news here. All right, so with MYO specifically, I can't talk specifically. No, with MYO specifically, this stock is up. It was halted a few times yesterday. They put out something that said that they have approved that the statutory health insurance in Germany has approved its Mayo Pro on a case-by-case basis, apparently, for them. And so they said a major German health insurer, which is Barmer, did decide that they are going to cover the cost of the Mayo Pro provided through certified, and I'm going to go ahead and quote the rest of this, and this is from MT Newswires, provided through certified orthotics and prosthetics clinics in Germany. So basically an insurance agency is going to cover some of their products for MYO. They also said the first patient covered by Barmer has a paralyzed arm caused by a brachial plexus injury, which was from a skiing accident, apparently. Those Germans, man. It's cold over there, apparently, right? Yeah, they say that the new policy is said to, quote, enable medically qualified candidates to significantly increase their capabilities, end quote. So yeah, that's what's going on with MYO. I'll say this, though, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this, and I will preface what I'm about to say with this, is that this is all pure speculation and subjective opinion. I don't know this for certain, obviously, and it's just me speculating on this stock's movement. As somebody that trades stocks every single day. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say it after I change this song because I don't like the song. Oh, wait. I'm just gonna stick with this song. Alright, but yeah, so anyways, after saying that, I think the stock is certainly getting pumped up. Now, it has a tiny float, but I think that they know what they're doing, and I think that this stock is getting pumped up. I think somebody's pumping this stock up. I don't know who it is, whether it could be insiders in the company or the CEOs and the owners trying to make millions, which is what they do a lot of the time with penny stocks, or it could just be running off a hype or a chat room or anything else. Somebody's pumping this thing up, man. At least in my opinion. I'm not saying that for certain. Of course, the float is tiny. It's got like 500,000 float, which is ridiculously small. And so news like this will push the stock up like this, but the percentage moves that it's making are just kind of crazy. And I look at this and I'm just thinking pump and dump. I think if you look at this thing in a month from now, it's going to be back down a huge percentage. And of course, I could be wrong. Maybe this thing goes crazy and runs up and you know, whatever, but I think that I've seen this happen a lot, and I think a large majority of the time when you look at stocks like this in a month from now, they're going to be down a huge percentage. And so we'll see. Again, I could very easily be wrong. It's pure speculation, but that's just kind of my take on this. Let me know what you think. But yeah, that's MYO. We'll see what happens with it. We also got MBRX, and I can look up some of these other moves. This one's a larger float stock, though. This has 30 million in the float. I've traded this one a bunch before, actually. But they put out something that said that they are seeking accelerated FDA approval for the Phase 2 AML trial. So they have plans for a Phase 2 trial, and they're seeking expedited FDA approval, accelerated FDA approval. And so we'll see what happens with MBRX, but that's the news for that one. We got CEI, which I believe is an oil stock, if I remember correctly, for CEI, but this one has recently popped up, so we can take a look at CEI here as well. So they contributed $5 million to the Vikings' recent acquisition and parties' executive definitive merger agreement regarding Camber's proposed acquisition of Viking. Man, whatever that means. Kind of a bad wording on their part, I think. So yeah. So Camber Energy Incorporated, and this is quoting, contributes $5 million to Viking's recent acquisition. Okay, so apparently Camber proposed an acquisition of Viking, and they are contributing another $5 million to that, is basically what the news is for this one, causing this one to move up. We'll see what happens, but that's kind of what I'm looking at for CEI. We'll see what happens. If you know anything else on that one, let me know. We got WWR, which gapped up from 221 all the way to 269. Now it is at, 269. Let me see what this one is. They put out fourth quarter results on the 22nd, but that was a while back. Alright, so it says, quote, Westwater Resources AK shows company submitted claimants memorial in arbitration against Turkey. Memorial establishes reparations owed by Turkey for breach consisting no less than $36.5 million plus costs. Alright, so yeah, they put out something that said they disclosed it submitted claimants memorial in arbitration against Turkey. And so we'll see what happens with that one as well. COTY is another one, and I believe this one's tradable. Let me check. Let me open up my P&L. Let me see, COTY. I think it's tradable, I'm not sure. Yeah, so COTY is tradable. So we'll go over this one too then, because it is tradable for me. Alright, so COTY put out they put out a lower than expected loss. So I'm going to go ahead and quote this, and this is from Dow Jones Newswires, and it says, quote, COTY reported a loss in earnings in the second quarter, but beat analyst expectations. So a little bit better than expected loss. The beauty company reported a loss of $21.1 million or 3 cents a share, compared with a loss of $960.6 million or $1.28 a share a year earlier. So way better than a year ago. And they had adjusted earnings that were 27 cents a share, which were better than expected. So better than expected results for COTY for the second quarter. And so COTY better than expected results. We'll see what happens with it, but that's what's going down. I'll watch this one. It's worth the watch, I think, as well. We got AIMT moving as well here. They said Nestle's new investment in AIMT includes $1 million newly issued share priced at $31.97. Alright, so basically what went down is that Nestle made an additional $200 million equity investment in AIMT. So a huge investment in AIMT from Nestle, which is a huge company. And that one's causing this one up. We'll see what happens. But this one's tradable and it's worth the watch. And so we'll see if we can find some interesting stuff for this today. Then we got the big coffee brand, LK. Alright, so Citron Research comes to rescue with the $60 a share forecast. Alright, so yeah, okay, so yesterday something came out that after short seller Citron Research's Andrew Left, quote, talked up the company in a report from Reuters, pouring cold water on a recent note from its rival, Muddy Waters, that had alleged the firm's business was, quote, fundamentally broken. So basically, he reported he owns the stock in his hedge fund, he said, and he was cited as saying that he expects LK to eventually hit $60 a share. And so that's basically what's going down. We'll see what happens with this one. It's worth a watch as well, I guess. Aside from that, I mean, we don't have that much other cool stuff today. We do have AMD, MU, but a lot of this is just up on the overall market movement. We can go to some gap downs really quick, like PLT, which is Plantronics, and then the big boy Tesla is the big gap down. I think people are wondering about. I don't know, Luke. I'm kind of scared of that, bro. PLT. Let's see what this one is. Alright, so yeah, they cut to inline from outperform. So they were cut. They put out a third quarter adjusted loss that was worse than expected. Or no, they put out mixed results versus the expectations, but the fourth quarter guidance disappointed people. So it had bad guidance for PLT. That's why this one's down. NNVC is down as well, which is tradable. It's a coronavirus stock. Alright, so apparently NNVC was asked about coronavirus treatment breakthroughs, and a Wuhan spokesperson said that they are, quote, no known effective therapeutics against the virus. Man. The president, Dr. Dewan, was also interviewed by the Kennedy Show on Fox Business News yesterday. Maybe something bad came out on that, but that's what NNBC is down from. We got a few other ones, like Snapchat is down. We could probably look at Snapchat as one of the bigger names. And then obviously, we'll go over the Dragon in a second. So Snap put out better than expected earnings. Alright, so and the reason Snapchat is down is because Facebook put out worse than expected fourth quarter financial results, and so did Google. And so yeah, that's why Snapchat's down. We'll see what happens. Snapchat users were up, but because Facebook's earnings were down, Snapchat is down. Or no, Facebook isn't down. So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just quote this to make it a little bit simpler from Dow Jones Newswires is where this comes from. Let me get Mitch in here real quick, and then I'll try to go over this a little bit clearer. But Snapchat, look at AIMT just with a huge drop, huge sell-off really quickly for AIMT. Hold on, let me get the sound working. Yo, what's up, Mitch? Let me know how the volume is, guys. Let me know how the volume is. And so I'm going to go ahead and read this because it's a little bit confusing what is really going down with Snapchat and Facebook. So, alright, so apparently, actually, okay, so here's the thing. Snapchat had both fourth quarter financial performance and the company's first quarter guidance, and those were disappointing apparently. The sell-off in Snap follows weaker than expected fourth quarter financial performance from both Facebook and Alphabet. The parent of Snapchat posted revenue of $561 million, which is up 44% and above the high of the end of company's guidance range of $540 to $560 million, but a bit below the Wall Street consensus. Okay, so it posted better than last year earnings, but worse than expected. Is really what went down for Snap. And so we'll see what happens with this one. Another one that's moving is, where was it? Snap MTCH Match is down. Mitch's stock Match.com. And this one is down after they posted higher profit boosted by Tinder and affirmed revenue projections. But we'll see. Why is it down because of that? Let's see. Which is also always why trading earnings is weird. Maybe worse guidance. Match Group said full year revenue topped $2 billion and affirmed its revenue outlook for mid to high teen growth. This was yesterday. Maybe we'll have to watch this one a little bit closer. But yeah, with that, overall market itself running up big. Hey, shout out to N. What's up, N? What's up, Tariq? What's up, Anthony? Guys, hit that subscribe button. You know, we day trade live on stream every weekday morning for free. So hit that subscribe button, click the bell, turn on notifications. We go live every weekday morning right here on YouTube for free. We are not experts. We are not gurus. We just day trade live, let you guys watch us trade live. So hit that subscribe button, click the bell, turn on notifications. We go live every weekday morning for free. And so, yeah, team. All right, what's up, guys? Let me catch back up on the chat. One moment of silence for those who shorted on Tesla, I guess. Honestly, they're probably banking money now. Look Tesla. Look at Tesla. Oh yeah, we got to go over Tesla. Let me talk about that. Look at Tesla Dow, man. And like I said yesterday, I'm not going to act like I predicted this because I said I think it'll probably go down, but it could go up. But Tesla's down. And like I said, Mitch and I both looked at this one, and we just thought it was a little bit too high. I do want to see why this huge drop in Tesla happened yesterday, though. So let me go back a little bit. Alright, so Tesla executives said that they're going to delay February delivery of some made-in-China Model 3 cars. And so that's what went down. Also, one of Tesla's largest investors sold its... Okay, so one of Tesla's largest investors sold a 99.5% stake of its... sold 99.5% of its stake before New Year's rally. Also, we had Concord downgrade them. So yeah, basically they put out something that said they're going to delay delivery of some of the Model 3 cars because of the coronavirus stuff. I'll have to check that out, Gideon. I'll take a look at eBay. All right, let me catch back up on the rest of the chat. Let me see. Yeah, what's up, Rhetorical? What's up, Levi? What's up, AY? What's up,
Hello.
Douglas? What's up, bro? What's up, man?
Hello.
What's up, dude?
What's going on, guys? How we doing today? Good morning, traders.
David said, "What's the best long-term hold you've ever done?" Nothing. I'm not a long-term investor, brother. I got an IRA. Yeah, but you'd have to ask him that. I am using Trade Ideas, Bill. I'll post that link if you want to check it out. They actually have their test drive going on right now, where you can try them out for 2 weeks for like $9. Super cheap. And so if you want to check that out, I'll post that link. We do make a commission, but it's a great way to help support us. But yeah, it's still a pretty good deal. Like I pay $120 a month for my scanners, and they have they call it the test drive. It lets people try them out for cheap. It's like $9. You can try them out for $9 for 2 weeks. Started Monday. John, you don't want to buy a 650 put for Tesla? Not really. I don't have that much to really do it in my Robinhood account. I'd have to add more to it, and I don't know if I'm confident enough to do that. So we'll see. There is no tender stock, I don't think. Real quick, Gideon wanted me to look at eBay real quick, so let me see.
Yeah, potential buyout.
Honestly, that's crazy, man.
About it.
Yeah, look at it, man. You see that move yesterday?
I laugh at it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy eBay.
Honestly,
I've done my research.
Yeah. eBay is like the stepchild of Amazon at this point. You know, Amazon did really, really well, and eBay just kind of got left behind. And the reason for that is because there's a few things, right? They are less strict on counterfeits. And so you don't know if what you're buying on eBay is real a lot of the time. And of course, they're going to say, oh, we don't allow counterfeits. But I'm telling you, they're less strict than Amazon. They're less strict with their sellers. And people that sell on eBay might be all like, oh, well, no, they're pretty strict with their sellers. They're not as strict as Amazon. Amazon is ridiculously strict. You know, super high standard to sell on Amazon. You got to keep your metrics up. You can't screw up. You get banned for life if you screw up. eBay, from what I understand, is not quite like that. I'm not saying they're not strict at all. I'm just saying they're not as strict as Amazon, and I think that causes Amazon to have a higher standard for their products.
Yeah, I think in eBay, the only thing that's left for them is their advertising business.
Right.
That's what's making them money. That's what people want. They don't care about the marketplace anymore. At least that's my personal opinion.
Right.
And they care about their ability to do advertising. They actually have pretty good advertising. That's the only thing that you see in their revenue that keeps going up. If you look at their financials, you'll see that, hey, they're not doing good on one side, but at least they've innovated into pretty much an advertisement company. And I just think it's too expensive here for the buyout. So I really don't think the buyout's going to happen. But the rumor is out, and it's with ICE. If you want to look at the stock that's trying to buy it, look how hard it got hit.
Yeah, they're like, you're buying eBay, get out of there. You know?
Look at that. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
That thing got destroyed. ICE.
Yeah. Yeah, so it says here, and this is quoting from Dow Jones Newswires, but it says, people familiar with the matter said ICE has made an offer to eBay that could value the company at more than $30 billion, and the stock's rally on Tuesday lifted eBay's market cap to $31.5 billion, or $31.15 billion. So, interesting.
It completely stopped their 2-week rally.
Yeah.
By thinking that idea.
Yeah. People are like, you want to buy eBay, dude? Gross, man. Get out of there. You know.
It's just, I just think it's not that they can't buy it. I just think they're trying to buy it at a too expensive price.
Yeah.
I would wait for eBay to get discounted more. You don't want to be like T-Mobile and Sprint. Have you guys seen Sprint yet? T-Mobile is regretting so bad that they even thought of it.
Sprint's T-Mobile is better than Sprint. Sprint, man, what happened to Sprint, man? It used to be the big dog.
It was one, they don't invest in their own company. That's a major issue. Right. Two, when they tried to get bought out, their evaluation was too high. That's why that's went right back down.
Yeah.
About 50% too. We're talking about, it was at $8, $9 when T-Mobile was doing that. and now we're down to 450s.
Yeah, I think the problem is that they didn't evolve, right? I think AT&T took over the cable business space to a certain extent and got some market share in the cable business space, like AT&T Uverse. I do think long term, I think the wireless companies are going to go down because I think that and this is pure speculation as well, because all I can really go by is how I am, right? I know that I used to have cable, I switched to streaming. And right now I have an AT&T bill, but my AT&T bill is like $170 a month. It's unnecessarily expensive. I got my daughter a cell phone, and I'm totally against it, but my wife pressured me to get my daughter a cell phone. And so my daughter's got a cell phone, and it's like $50 a month with unlimited call, text, and data. You know what I mean? $50 a month, and so no contract. And so I think I'm just gonna go get that as well, and I'm gonna cancel my AT&T service. And I think for that reason, just like Comcast is gonna go down a little bit, I think that people are going to start getting rid of their contract wireless company services. But we'll see. Again, it's all pure speculation.
Yeah, one thing I always pay attention to is the company that's buying out the other company. It has to be at a lot of times they're going to pay a premium. So if they're going to pay a premium and you think the stock is already too high, then that means they're paying a hefty premium. When you pay a hefty premium, it's definitely going to affect the buying stock. It's going to dilute that stock. And then it's also going to give a boost to the other stock because it's getting bought at such a high evaluation. Right. That's really what I wanted to talk about that one. I necessarily will not trade eBay today, but we wanted to cover it, so let's cover it. All right, guys, we can keep going, guys. You got Merrick reports mixed earnings. This is a biotech company. Not really something I would trade. Just going to move forward, just mentioning it. You can look at Ford, cars. I don't really trade these that often, but Ford falls on Q4 earnings miss, lower outlook, and notes execution problems around the Explorer that's supposed to come out. So pretty much their outlook for the coming quarter is below the consensus forecast, cutting 3 cents off the top range. They lowered their forecast, told you guys about their issues that they're having right now with their new SUV, the new Explorer that's supposed to come out. And then Ford saw sales fall 5% from the previous year.
Hold on, I'm gonna put you up.
So those kinds of negative things are definitely going to affect Ford on the downside. This one could be tradable today. It is having a big move pre-market, but I have a feeling that once the market actually opens, this one's not going to move much. All right. What's going on, chat? How we doing, chat? How's everyone doing? Everyone say hello. Let's see who we got in the chat today. We got Levi, Taylor, we got Douglas, we got Rhetorical, we got David, James. Oh, my boy James in the house. Luke Stevens, Precise, Gideon, of course. We got Adam. We can't forget about Hero. And of course, JF. Where's everybody at? If you're new to the chat, definitely say hello. We always like when you guys say hello for new people.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Good morning. Got my puts in Ford a few days ago. Nice, man. Look at Netflix. Mitch might, yeah.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and continue on with the news here. Moving on. Macy's getting hit here, guys. This is, I don't know if everyone kind of knows how I feel about Macy's. I think this is the next JC Penney. I don't think it's going to be around too much longer. They released news that they will be lowering guidance and closing about 125 stores. So, this just comes to show you. The company is also cutting roughly 2,000 corporate jobs, or 10% of their corporate and support staff. That's not a good sign, guys. They have faith that its locations will do better if they close 125 department stores and that they will have more online presence. But I definitely think that Macy's is just kind of out of the water here. They need to figure out what they're going to do. But closing stores, I think, is just going to scare investors even more and pull out investors that think that this could come back to $40. All right, moving on here. You guys could take a look at NIO. NIO's shares are still kind of rising, even though predictions of car sales in China have been really bad. So I necessarily don't view NIO as the next Tesla. So you have to look at that company and really make your own decision on that. But I just think that eventually this is probably going to come back down closer towards $3, $2. I don't really see this stock up there at $10, but it has been driving. It has been creating resistance at 468. So I think you can look today to see if it gets above 5. If not, I think this one could start getting hit. Auto sales are set to set a record plunge for the first 2 months of 2020. And I think it's really going to put pressure on NIO on their next earnings. They should release really negative kind of news because, hey, if they can't sell cars because everyone's scared in China to even go out to the kind of the car maker
market,
how are they going to make money this quarter? So I don't think this kind of push in NIO is long lasting.
Yeah, we'll see. It's tricky, man. I'm scared of the coronavirus too.
All right, guys. So let's go into my top trade of the day. Top trade of the day for me is going to be in Dell. I actually made a trade on this one yesterday. Was able to make $50. Held it a little bit, maybe too long. It looked like it wanted to break out in the afternoon. I got a sudden surge, but I really believe in this stock. I had an entry of about 50, 80. And so if I even held it overnight, it would have been up. So I definitely think this one can continue moving. It had great news with Trump. U.S. taps on Microsoft, Dell, and others to create a 5G alternative for U.S. So this is a news report from Benzinga. And it's actually earlier, it really came from the Wall Street Journal, where this news came from. It was first reported by them. I found it in about midday. There's not many midday catalysts that we get. But President Trump's administration is working with technology and telecommunication giants Microsoft, Dell Technology, and AT&T as parts of efforts. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow told the Wall Street Journal essentially that the big picture concept is to have all of the US 5G architect and infrastructure done by American firms. I think that was really, really strongly stated there. So pretty much 5G has a lot to do with infrastructure work, that we have to change kind of all the infrastructure in the United States. So what they're pretty much saying is that they're going to try their best to either make deals, tax cuts, whatever they need to do so that these American companies can be the ones creating that architect and infrastructure. I think that's very important. If that's going to happen, it's really going to help those companies like Microsoft and Dell. AT&T, I think it doesn't move as much, so I wouldn't necessarily focus on that one. But I think this one is going to really help out Microsoft and really help out Dell, that's been struggling ever since their IPO about 2 years ago. So this is my top trade. I will be watching for Dell on the long side. Other than that, there's NVIDIA news, and there is, of course, the Walt Disney earnings. All right, guys. So Walt Disney Streaming service tops 26 million subscribers, and company beats earnings estimates. So, I had this feeling. I personally would like to be long Disney, but I would like to have been long it near the kind of the 100 or 110 price point. I think this is still a little extended. I think this could pull back, so I'm going to be waiting for a long-term position for it to come back anywhere near 100. It is pushing up. Some people think that the Disney Plus did really great, and some people think that the content is kind of slowing down. It's going to really be determining, I think, on the subscriber rate and how that continues to grow. If you watch that and you continue to see it growing, I think you're going to continue seeing Disney move up. But I think there's just too much risk in Disney to be long right now with the coronavirus. You never know how much they're going to get hit because of that. We know the parks in China are closed, and supposedly this was going to cost them like 100 million, some big number like that. So we'll see what happens to them.
Netflix. Let me see.
Netflix is probably sympathy off of Disney.
Okay, so let me see. So with Netflix, Netflix is up. Let me go ahead. I'll go ahead and read the catalyst that we have for this one specifically here, and then we can look at the daily chart as well. This one is up. Yeah, exactly what Mitch said, which is just sympathy from Disney Plus strength. So Disney Plus apparently had good numbers. Disney Plus reached 29 million subs for them, and that's boosting Netflix as well. The quote I have here from Dow Jones Newswires is that it says, quote, is a positive for Netflix rather than a worry about competition, as it reinforces a notion that linear TV is struggling and that streaming services can coexist, end quote. So go ahead, Mitch.
That's what I'm seeing too. You know what? I'm gonna do a little bit more research in the numbers, see if they're trying to hide anything in the earnings. I'll let you guys know what I find. I know I see like they put this in here. They added this into their earnings report. They said Disney launched November 12th, but said that 10 million people signed up right away, though some were on a free offer from customers of Verizon. I think that's where most of their customers came from. So I'm going to try to find if they release numbers on how many people they grabbed from that free offer and how many people still have it. I think honestly, that's the important thing.
I still have Disney Plus. I've been watching The Mandalorian. I'm still kind of sad The Mandalorian's not going to come out for a few years, but I think especially with Disney, number one, I think that the new Mandalorian series, or the second season of The Mandalorian, isn't going to come out until next year, I believe. But I also think that they're having their Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which is a live-action series like The Mandalorian, that's coming out, and I think that will certainly boost Netflix, or I think that will certainly boost Disney in their stock, because Star Wars fans are some of the most passionate, and with that coming out, that's going to boost it, I think.
Yeah, I think my thing is just is how long does that last? Does people grab it for 1 month and get off of it? Because if that's going to happen, then it doesn't really work. I think the content is too slow. One great content, it brings you subscribers, but I think people leave after they watch that one great show.
I don't know. So I think this. So I have Disney Plus, and Disney Plus, it has everything, every single Star Wars show that has ever been made. There is not a Star Wars movie or show that is not currently on Disney Plus. There is not a single Disney movie that is not on Disney Plus. And so it's literally the entire library of Disney and the entire library of Star Wars for $5 a month. And I think that their price point is spot on, because $5 a month is negligible to a lot of people. They're not going to care about $5 a month. And if they're a Star Wars fan, that's very cheap for them to just watch Star Wars whenever they want. And so for that reason, I think they're going to keep it around. And I think that if Netflix puts out a new series for Star Wars at least once a year, then that's going to keep people subscribed. Overall, you're paying like $60 a year for it to be able to watch Star Wars whenever you want. And I think for passionate Star Wars fans, that's a cheap price. And so, like I said, they have literally every Disney movie. So specifically me with kids, like I have 2 kids. My kids obviously love Disney, and I think that every single Disney movie, I'm kind of bummed out because we've been building up a library of Disney DVDs as my kids grow. And now that's all useless. You know what I mean? It's all wasting because there's an app that has literally every Disney thing on there. And so it's interesting to see where it heads. But I think that, especially when the Obi-Wan Kenobi series comes out, is probably going to boost the stock up a little bit more. The question is where it's going to be at before that. Like if Disney's going to drop before then and then come back up once that comes out. Yeah, also, another thing that, somebody else mentioned it. They also have Marvel. They have all the Marvel movies in there as well. And so all the superhero movies, too. And so I think with their demographic, I think they're fine. I think that they're going to retain subs because it's not just Disney. It's not just Star Wars. They have Disney, Marvel, everything, man. And so it's just a huge library for nerds like me, you know.
I don't see it.
No, hey, I think you're wrong, but we can agree to disagree, brother. That's okay.
Yeah, man. I just don't think it's gonna last. I think it's all old content, nothing new.
I'll put it this way. The other day, I pulled out the old content is cool. The other day, I pulled out Brink, the rollerblading movie from the '90s. I put out Luck of the Irish, the OG Disney movie. Smart House. I watched that the other day with my kids and taught them about the '90s. You know, there was some cool stuff, man. There's some cool old stuff that I enjoyed watching. You know.
Yeah, I think that's the key, though. I think I don't know. I think in this age you got to bring new stuff, but if you think the old stuff can keep them going, let's see. We'll see.
I think the price point is the big hitter there. I think less than $5 a month is super cheap.
I don't know how long that'll last.
Yeah,
that's an introductory offer, just like Netflix did the same thing.
Right. But I think their library will sustain. I think if you compare them to like Netflix, they have a lot of the really valuable content, which is like superhero, Star Wars, and kids movies, and I think that's a lot of really valuable content that people are gonna stay sub to. I think, but who knows? You might be right. My coffee is right here, Hero. You was feeling those jams? Which one? Mary Poppins? Yeah, they got Mary Poppins on there. All right. All right, let me go over the overall market news. I know I haven't done that yet. Let me see. All right, so again, SPY's up to 332s, close to the highs. The lifetime highs of the SPY, or the SPY, is 332.95. So right under 333 even is the lifetime highs. We are currently at 332.27, and so it is possible that the SPY could break highs today. It's also possible that we just get rejected and it's a big red day. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and read the market news since I haven't quite done that yet. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read the ETF preview. And again, this is brought to you by MT Newswires. All right, so stock futures, and this is all quoting, stock futures were in positive territory ahead of the opening bell as the news of the development of drugs to treat the new coronavirus helped lift market sentiment. Reuters reported the researchers at Zhejiang University have found 2 drugs that can inhibit the coronavirus, and China Global Television Network reported the potential breakthrough, citing that Changjiang newspaper in Hubei province, the center of the viral outbreak. But some cautions prevailed after news that 490 people died from the virus in China, while 10 cases were confirmed in a quarantined cruise ship in Japan. Oh no. According to separate Reuters reports, man, that's a bad cruise ship to be on right now. On the busy economic calendar, the Automated Data Processing Jobs Report came out at 8:15 Eastern Time, and they considered it a precursor to the National Jobs Report. Econoday had pegged the number to 154,000, which would be down from the prior level of 202,000. All right, and so we can go and move on to commodities here. Crude is up 2.5%. I think crude was UGAZ, if I remember correctly. No. Oh, hey, buddy. You're no bud here. You gotta let me work, bud. So crude is up 2.5%. It must be DGAZ. Or no, it's UWT. Yeah. Or DWT is what it is. No, it's UWT. Sorry, guys. There's crude. All right. So, yeah, crude is up 2.5%. The U.S. oil fund is up 2.8%. Natural gas, which is UGAZ, is down 1.6%, and the U.S. Natural Gas Fund is down 1.8%. Gold is up 0.1%, and the Spider Gold Trust is down 0.2%. Silver is down 0.1%, and the iShares Silver Trust is down 0.1%. All right, so that's the market, guys. We'll see what we get today. It should be a fun, interesting day. And yeah, let's make some money, guys. Market's up. We'll see if it breaks highs today, and it should be fun. Let me catch back. Oh, you see your LK today, man? LK ripped up too.
Bro, I said it. I don't know who was trying to short that thing. When Citron comes out and says you guys are lying,
yeah, for sure.
Those are the biggest bears in the game.
Right.
And if they don't believe it,
yeah.
I would definitely not believe it.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Hey, have a good day, Taylor. Appreciate it. Good luck to you as well.
They gave it to you. They're like, bro, we're buying this.
Right. They're like, we don't believe it. We're short sellers, and we don't think it's going down.
Yeah, if a short selling research company tells you that they're buying it,
right.
Not only did they say that they're not shorting it, they said they were buying it. I think that was the key.
Right. Yeah, Smart House, Taylor. You know, all the OGs know Smart House. Luck of the Irish. You know, Brink.
So LK is going to run into the 40 resistance, guys. 40 is going to be really key. I really think it's going to just shoot right out the gates and get to 40. So you just got to be careful with that resistance because that's a major resistance. It's made a major move since yesterday. Yesterday, the open was at like 33.65. Now we're at 39. $6 from that low. It's a big move.
Yeah, for sure.
You look at it on the hourly chart and you see that bottoming effect, and then you can see where it could run into some consolidation, which is the 40. I think if it gets above 40 today, man, this thing could shoot right back to 50. But if it hits 40 and just starts trapping itself in between 40s and 30s, then we could see consolidation.
Right, for sure. Gideon wants CRWD. Let's take a look at that. That's CrowdStrike, right?
Yeah, that one's been doing really well. I believe in this company. I think this company is figuring it out. It's been an IPO since last year in June. When is it gonna really make a drive? No one's really to say. But I can tell you at least from their business and financials are strong in this company. They're gonna figure it out. It's a tech company. I think in the long run, tech companies, even though they can get hit, if they have good technology and they have innovation, they'll come back.
Right.
They're going to find a spot where the valuation meets the investors' eyes.
Right. For sure.
Weekly chart has next resistance for CRWD would be up to 70. I would look for a move to 70.
All right, here's the bell. Good luck, guys. Let me get this ready. Sorry, I forgot to put this up. Let me get this up. All right, but yeah, there's the bell, guys. Good luck, team.
All right, guys. Dell for VWAP bounces, PTON for fades, ENPH for fades also. Those are the ones I'm looking for.
Netflix dropping down to 373.50s.
Let's go, traders. You guys got this. Focus on your system. Trade your system. You guys got this.
AMD dropping a little bit too. Really, I'm watching the SPY today, see what it does, see if it starts to push up towards highs. It's at 332.40 now, so we'll see about that. Let's see, Space dropping, Tesla dropping down to 800 roughly.
There's a good drive there to start off for Lucky. I'm gonna wait though. Space getting hit down there, 25 cents there. Looking at PTON, that one could make a comeback fade. Looks good. Let's try to get PTON.